Here on All In, we are first and foremost all into entrepreneurs and small businesses. Man, have we got a story for you today. We have a small business owner, entrepreneur, dare I say. She's with us today, but she's so much more than an entrepreneur. She does so many different things. She's an entrepreneur, she's a blogger, she's a corporate trainer. She does a lot of things, but you know what? At first, it doesn't seem like they all fit, but they absolutely fit. And we're going to hear the story of how they fit and how they might be able to help you right now. The name of the business today is Success Surfers. Miss Success Surfer herself, Chinmay Desai. Goodness gracious, I almost messed that up. How are you today?
I am very good, and how are you?
I'm great. It's fascinating to meet you because I was looking at the notes before you got in here today, and a lot of people, they do one thing and I can talk to them, but you do so many different things. I mean, we already talked about it. You're an entrepreneur. You got your own business. You're a blogger. You write about all sorts of stuff. You're a coach. You help other businesses. You do financial advice for people too. What is your story? I mean, before you got to Success Surfers, what were you doing to get all these different things in place?
So to start with, I'll make it very simple. I'm a mom, if that explains, because a mother, usually she has a couple of hands, right, to juggle with. So to start my story, I am a financial graduate. So I have been working with financial service industry for I worked for almost 10 years, first decade of my career with them, with big names like Franklin Templeton Investments, Bank of America, and stuff like that. I was very happy connecting myself to people. That's something that I always liked.
Good.
When I went the family way and I had my daughter, and I thought that, I have so much to give and to give it to her and make her into the best version of herself, that I thought of changing my career. So I quit the financial service industry. I went into training. I took a degree into corporate training while still nursing my daughter, because I didn't want to leave her to anyone, too possessed to, give her to someone.
Sure.
So I shifted gears to training, took the degree in corporate training, and that's where the next journey began. Now again, I was helping people but from the other side of the table. Having worked with client services, I knew how much those soft skills are important, how much your goal setting, your time management, your persuasiveness, the way you react to a situation, those things are very important and they take you a long way. So I started specializing in them. I took a few certifications in that, started writing blogs because I wanted them to stay for my daughter, so that, she has any problem in her life or something. Right. They don't want to talk to parents at times, So she'll just
read it.
She'll just go to the blogs and probably get the wisdom, share it with her friends.
Sure.
Let it work for the whole community. So that's where the blogging thing came. Again, we moved to US, and I used to volunteer a lot in her school. So it's all around my two daughters, so would volunteer a lot. And while doing that, I figured out that it's so important to cultivate these kids with the proper skills, rather than working with the adults and giving training to the adults. So that's where Success Surfer comes into the picture.
Gotcha. That's
where I figured out that life skills is something that we as individuals, we need, and that's what makes us human. Our ability to empathize with each other, to share a joke and make the other person feel good, to lend a hand to a person and raise him up. We have Googles and Alexas and Siris, but they do not empathize. They don't have the human element. And for our kids and our generation to outpass Google, Alexa, and Siris, we need to get those life skills back. We need to make that cooler again.
And I like the way you're saying that. In a lot of cases, sadly, it's not to get those life skills back. It's just to get them here, because a lot of people have never had them. It's not like they had them and lost them. They never had them in the first place.
No, it's
a generational thing. Am I sound like the old guy now?
No,
but I think it is.
Yeah, it is to some extent, but I would say it's a muscle. We got to keep building on it, right?
Yes, fair enough.
It's like your brain. If we don't use it, it's not there. And that's the mission. That's the mission of Success Surfers. I am mission to help each and every kid bring his inner voice out and be the best version of himself. He can be of any race, any color. He can be, he can be wanting to be a musician or a doctor or anything. But you have that voice within you, and you make a difference to the society. Training you in the right way, we all have a better society for us and our kids to live in. Because think of it, like, my daughter alone, I teach her, she's going to be one person doing that thing. It's not going to, it has no impact. I want to do it for the community so that all our kids, the entire generation is prospering.
Okay. Well, but obviously you're a very good mom. Let's get that out there first. Of all your things, the most important job is being a mom. We'll give you that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you being received by the other parents out there with your company, with Success Surfers? How are they receiving you? Are they open arms, or they say, no, my kid doesn't need that? How's that going?
Okay, so here's the interesting part of it. With Success Surfers, we have made it extremely easy for parents to digest the content that we are providing. All the life skills, like say self-confidence or time management or goal setting, persuasiveness, we have converted them in workshops which are activity based. So your child is probably doing it but not kind of realizing it, because if there is a child who wants to speak more confidently, I wouldn't call it a public speaking workshop, because that's a very negative term to give. Because the moment you tell the parent, and the parent and the child, they start feeling that, oh, is it that she's shy? Is she shy, or is she not talking properly? That's why, do I need to put her there? So that's not the case.
Okay.
Every voice had to be heard, and everyone has something to work on. There are three parts to this whole program: your thinking skills, your listening, and your speaking.
Okay.
And that makes the whole person, that creates the whole person. Like, think about it. We are part of three things: what we think, what we listen, and then what we speak.
Correct.
And every person falls in either of this. So parents do get really drawn to the activity-based format of it. This is the bigger picture behind it, but what the child is doing, that he's coming, he's having fun, he's playing games like, role plays and commercials and debates and skits and interviewing. Oh, we have a game like this where, they got to interview the person sitting in front of them and then introduce that person to the crowd.
Do they then take turns and then that person interviews them
Yes,
as well?
yes.
Well, do the parents get to the point to where they're saying, I want to do that? I mean, let's face it, because a lot of people haven't had this opportunity, and everybody needs these life skills.
Yes, we do. We do. Unfortunately, the way our school system works is, everybody is after getting better GPAs, which is good, which is great. I would say, yes, keep doing that. But think of a scenario where each one of you has good GPAs. How are you going to differentiate?
Yeah, what's next? Yeah.
What's next? And that computer right there, you put a program in there, it can calculate way faster than you can.
Right.
So where's that math, Unless you know how to ask that right question to the computer, that's where your wisdom lies. So, yes, keep getting those GPAs, keep doing good, but you do want to be human,
Well,
Work
because
on your
at the end of the
human
day,
skills.
you're exactly right, because that's what's going to differentiate you from the next person, not just trying to get into school and then trying to get out of school, but later in life when he's getting a job or meeting a life partner. Even. You have to have those communication skills.
Yes.
And you know what? I bet you right now, when you're going through the process with these kids, I bet there's no cell phones around anywhere while they're during class. I bet they're not sitting here texting each other and stuff. That's a big problem today. I don't have time to get into that one, but this whole communication here has killed a lot of things.
Yes,
The
yes.
fact that you've come on board with your processes and made them fun to where they're learning and don't even know it, that's the best kind of education. That's the type of thing that we all needed when we were younger, and you're there for it now. Fascinating stuff. I'm out of time today, but thank you very much for everything that you're doing because even as a guy with no kids, you're helping me in the long run. I appreciate that. Thank you much.
Thank you so much.
Folks, thank you as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on All In.